Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this pivotal moment where the fabric of your destiny awaits transformation. Today, we delve into the profound power of the mind, the catalyst that shapes your reality and propels you towards your dreams. Let me ask you this. What sets apart the achievers from the dreamers, the champions from the spectators? It's the unwavering commitment to a mindset that believes in the potency of goals. Goals are the compass that steers the direction of our lives. They are not merely wishes or whims. They're the roadmap to our aspirations, the beacon that illuminates the path to success. Think about it for a moment. What is your life's grand design? Do you have a crystal clear vision of what you wish to achieve, or do you wander through life like a ship without a rudder, tossed about by the winds of fate? I challenge you today to make a paradigm shift in your thinking, to embrace the transformative power of goal setting. Set your sights on the summit of your desires and craft a blueprint that will guide your every action. Understand this fundamental truth. Your current circumstances do not define your future. Your mindset and the goals you set will determine the trajectory of your life. Now, let's journey into the realm of goals. A goal is not a mere wish cast into the ether. It is a destination with a roadmap. It's not just a fantasy. It's a concrete vision that fuels your passion and ignites the fire within. When you set a goal, you breathe life into your dreams. You infuse them with purpose, direction, and clarity. The key to effective goal setting lies not just in envisioning the end result, but in breaking down that vision into tangible, actionable steps. Remember, a goal without a plan is merely a wish. Define your goals with precision and detail. Make them specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, the SMART criteria. This is the compass that will steer your ship toward the shores of triumph. Do not be afraid to dream audaciously. Your goals should stretch you, challenge you, and push you beyond your comfort zone. Furthermore, it's not just about the destination, it's about the journey itself. Embrace the growth, the learning, and the evolution that come with pursuing your goals. Every setback, every obstacle is an opportunity for refinement, for honing your character, and fortifying your determination. Let me share with you the power of the compound effect. Consistent, disciplined action towards your goals, no matter how small, compounds over time, leading to monumental results. Like drops of water that eventually carve through solid rock, your consistent efforts will shape your destiny. But remember, goals are not set in stone. They are meant to be reviewed, adjusted, and refined as you progress. Adaptability is key. Life is dynamic, and so must be your approach towards your goals. Be flexible in your strategies while unwavering in your commitment to the ultimate destination. Now, let's address a critical aspect often overlooked in the pursuit of goals: the power of the mind. Your mindset is the bedrock upon which your goals are built. A positive, resilient mindset is the fuel that propels you forward in the face of adversity. Believe in the possibility of your dreams. Cultivate a mindset that welcomes challenges as opportunities for growth. Reframe failures as stepping stones toward success. As I often say, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Embrace the challenges, for they are the crucible in which your character is forged. Surround yourself with positivity. Your environment, the books you read, the people you associate with, they all shape your mindset. Choose wisely. Feed your mind with knowledge, wisdom, and inspiration. Aspire to learn continuously, for a mind that is open to learning is a mind that is receptive to success. Moreover, practice the art of visualization. Envision your goals with such vivid clarity that they become an inseparable part of your reality. See yourself already in possession of your desires. Feel the emotions. Immerse yourself in that future reality. This visualization technique is a powerful tool that aligns your subconscious mind with your conscious goals. Which leads me to my next point. What is the price you will pay if you do not develop this mindset shift? Let me paint you a vivid picture. Imagine waking up every day, going through the motions of life like a ship without a captain, tossed aimlessly by the unpredictable waves of circumstance. You see, without a clear destination in mind, without a compass pointing you towards your dreams, you become a wanderer in the vast sea of existence. You may ask, what's the price one pays for not embracing the concept of transforming your life through goals? Well, let me tell you, it's a heavy toll indeed. It's the cost of settling for less than you're capable of. It's forfeiting your potential, surrendering your dreams at the altar of comfort and complacency. When you neglect the power of a mindset shift fueled by purposeful goals, you consign yourself to a life dictated by happenstance. You become a spectator in your own life story, watching opportunities pass by like fleeting clouds in the sky. It's living a life filled with regrets and what-ifs, haunted by the ghosts of unfulfilled aspirations. Imagine reaching the twilight of your life, looking back at the years gone by, and realizing that you've traded the pursuit of your passions for a life of monotony. You may have had the talent, the potential, the opportunity, yet you chose to coast along the path of least resistance. The price of not setting and pursuing goals is the agony of unfulfilled potential and the sorrow of regret. But here's the silver lining. The beauty of life lies in your ability to pivot, to make a conscious choice to transform your future starting today. Embracing a mindset shift and understanding the power of setting compelling goals can rewrite the script of your life. Imagine waking up every morning with a sense of purpose coursing through your veins. Your goals become the lighthouse guiding your ship through the stormy waters of life. Each goal achieved becomes a milestone, a testament to your determination and resilience. It's about taking charge of your destiny and sculpting your future according to your dreams. When you cultivate the habit of setting and pursuing meaningful goals, you infuse your life with vitality, passion, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. You no longer merely exist, you thrive. You become the architect of your fate, the master of your destiny. The price you pay for not developing this mindset shift is too steep. It's sacrificing your potential, relinquishing your dreams, and settling for a life that falls short of your capabilities. But the rewards of embracing this transformational shift are immeasurable. The fulfillment of your aspirations, the joy of meaningful progress, and the legacy of a life lived with purpose. So, I implore you, don't allow life to happen to you. Make life happen for you. Commit to this mindset shift, set audacious goals, and relentlessly pursue them. Your future self will thank you for the investment you make today in the transformation of your life through the power of goals. Let me break this down further. Firstly, let me emphasize that the power of setting goals lies not just in the act itself, but in the clarity and specificity of those goals. Think about it. Would you board a ship without a destination in mind? Of course not. Setting clear, well-defined goals is akin to charting your course. It gives you direction, purpose, and a destination to strive for. Financial independence is not merely a stroke of luck or an accident. It's a deliberate, conscious decision rooted in the art of setting meaningful goals. When you set financial goals, you're essentially creating a roadmap that guides your actions, decisions, and efforts towards achieving financial freedom. One of the key principles I always advocate is the concept of the magic of written goals. When you write down your goals, something incredible happens. They become tangible, they become real. Thoughts floating around in your mind can easily be forgotten or diluted by the countless distractions of life. However, when you ink your aspirations onto paper, you crystallize them into existence. You give yourself something to hold on to visualize, and to work relentlessly toward. But setting goals isn't just about putting pen to paper. It's about crafting smart goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let me break it down for you. Specific. Your goals must be clear and precise. Vague aspirations won't cut it. Define exactly what you want to achieve financially. Whether it's a specific amount of savings, a targeted income, or an investment milestone. Be crystal clear about it. Measurable. Make sure your goals are quantifiable. How will you measure your progress? Set benchmarks and metrics to track your journey towards your financial objectives. Achievable. Your goals should be within the realm of possibility. Dream big, yes, but also ensure that your goals are realistically attainable. Stretch yourself, but don't set yourself up for failure. Relevant. Your financial goals should align with your overall life vision. They should resonate with your values, aspirations, and long-term objectives. Ask yourself, why is this goal important to me? How does it contribute to my greater purpose? Time-bound. Set deadlines. Without a time frame, a goal becomes a wish. Create a sense of urgency by establishing deadlines that push you to take action. Remember, time is a precious resource. Use it wisely. Now, let's delve into how setting these SMART goals directly correlates with achieving financial independence. When you set specific financial goals, you're essentially programming your subconscious mind to seek opportunities that align with those goals. You start noticing possibilities, connections, and avenues that were previously invisible to you. Your mind becomes a magnet, attracting resources, ideas, and strategies that propel you towards your financial aspirations. Moreover, setting measurable goals allows you to track your progress. It's like having a GPS on your journey to financial freedom. You can see how far you've come, analyze what's working, and make necessary adjustments along the way. This tracking mechanism empowers you to stay focused and motivated, even when faced with challenges or setbacks. The achievable aspect of SMART goals ensures that you set realistic targets. It's essential to dream big, but it's equally crucial to break those dreams into manageable steps. By setting achievable goals, you maintain a sense of belief and momentum, fueling your determination to keep moving forward. Now, let's not overlook the relevance of your financial goals. When your goals are aligned with your values and aspirations, they become a source of inspiration. They give you a reason to wake up early, stay up late, and push beyond your limits. They infuse your actions with passion and purpose, making the pursuit of financial independence not just a destination but a fulfilling journey. Lastly, the time-bound nature of SMART goals instills a sense of urgency. It prevents procrastination and excuses, urging you to take consistent action. Time becomes your ally, urging you to make the most of every moment towards your financial aspirations. Now, to the best part of all, let's talk about your transformation. Understand this. The mind is the most incredible tool you possess. It's capable of crafting visions, shaping destinies, and altering the course of your life. But often, it's not about the mind's potential. It's about how you utilize it. It's about understanding the magic that happens when you set sail on the vast sea of goals. Imagine for a moment a life without direction, devoid of purpose, a ship sailing without a destination. Without clear goals, life becomes a series of aimless wanderings, lacking the fuel that propels you toward your aspirations. Goals are the compasses that guide us through the uncharted territories of life. They give us direction, purpose, and clarity amidst the chaos. The transformation that unfolds when you embrace the art of setting goals is nothing short of miraculous. It's a journey that takes you from a life of uncertainty to one of purpose, from mediocrity to excellence, from mere existence to a life of significance. So, I implore you, embrace this transformation. Seize the power that lies within your grasp. Set goals that excite your soul, that challenge your limits, and that beckon you toward a life of abundance. For in this journey of setting and achieving goals, you'll not only transform your life, you'll redefine the very essence of who you are. Remember, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams and have the audacity to set sail toward them. Start today and witness the miraculous transformation that unfolds when you shift your mindset and embark on the extraordinary journey of setting goals. Thank you. Now, let's discuss time management. Time, the key phrase. We all have a limited supply. My father lived for 90 years, but it felt like 93. In his seemingly long life of 93 years, it felt short because it always seems like we could use more time. The Old Testament gives us a view of some people who lived to be 5, 67, 89 years old. If I had the chance to ask, I would inquire, how come we got shortchanged? However, that wouldn't be a good question if I had the opportunity to ask. Imagine having 78,500 years to watch generation after generation stay healthy and well. To make it to 900, you have to take care of your health. The key takeaway is that time is precious. Now, let me share Bill Bailey's description of time. Life is not just the passing of time. Life is a collection of experiences, their frequency and intensity. Life isn't about watching the clock tick away. It's about the intensity and frequency of experiences. When my friend Mark died at age 44, someone said that's young to die. But if you lived 4 lifetimes in one, it might not be too young. Whatever the span of your life turns out to be, here's what you want to fill it up with: experiences and the intensity of those experiences. Now, let's talk about the management of time. Here's one of the best strategies we covered earlier. When should you start building this hotel? Answer: as soon as you have it finished. And I'll jot this one down on time management. When should you start the day? As soon as you have it finished. Plan the day the best you can, leaving plenty of room for improvement and surprises. But if you've planned a good productive day, start that day. You can't believe how much more valuable your time will be. Don't start the day until you have it finished. Here's the next one. Don't start the week until you've had it finished. Now, to lay out a week is a pretty good challenge. Next, don't start the month until you have it finished. Places to go, people to see, productivity, sales, customers, development, and all the rest of what you want to accomplish during the course of 30 days. Don't start the month until it's finished. And then here's the big one, which is really challenging. Don't start the year until you have it finished, to the best of your ability. It can't be finished minute by minute. But in terms of the sweep of what you want to accomplish in the year 2002, make sure that that's set and ready to go by the time January 1st rolls around. And it might get all upset, and it might get torn up, and you do anew, and you make so much progress the first 90 days that now you multiplied it all by 2 by 3, because that happened to me. I thought, wow, here's how this is going to be a great year. By the time I finished the third month, I'm rolling, I'm sore, and so many things are happening. I revised my whole year's plan. Now, jot this down. Approaches to the management of time. Here's the first one. Ignore the subject. I mean, that's good advice. Don't let anything overly bug you, because remember, now, you don't have to do anything. So, if you want to let it all go, you can let it all go. I mean, this is good advice. Somebody says, you ought. See, you put down, ignore all the you oughts, or you shoulds. Only if they're giving general information. We should. It's better to say, if you're teaching, we should, not you should. Then you let me listen in without it being too confrontational. If everyone did this, see, that would be great. And then you give a person a chance to choose to do it or not to do it. But when you start the now see and no see, we got some tension and maybe some problems. So, you seem to always create problems when you're talking to your kids. You say, no, if kids would do this. Not always saying, if you did this, life would be better. But if kids did this, life would be better. It's like making a little talk and letting them listen in, and then it's a little less confrontational. It gives us a choice. In one of my seminars, here's what I teach. All life forms strive to the max of their potential, except human beings. All life forms strive to the max of their potential, except human beings. How tall will a tree grow? As tall as it possibly can. You never heard of a tree growing half as high as it could. No, trees don't grow half a tree. A tree drives its roots as deep as it can, reaches as high as it can, produces every leaf it can, every fruit it possibly can, to the max. Every life form strives to the max, except human beings. Now, why not human beings? Jot this down. You've been given the dignity of choice. You're not a robot. You don't have to repeat this year the same as last year. You can tear up last year's plan, develop a new plan. So, the dignity of being a human being. Now, here's the choice on being a human being. To be part of all we were meant to be or to be all, to strive for all, or half, or part, or some. The choice is up to you, to develop 1 skill or 10 skills. Someone says, well, I'd be happy with just 1 more language. Well, some say, hey, I'm going to learn 6 or 7. And this is all a matter of choice. When someone says, no, you ought to learn 4, you've got to resist all that because this is personal dignity. And you don't want to destroy someone's dignity by doing all the arts and they feel reluctant to do it. Now, we've got problems. So, if you want to just ignore this subject on time management, now here's the next one. Step down to something easier. The guy's in sales, and he says, oh, I want to own the company. Finally owns the company. Now, he's got no time to play golf. Don, he said, when I was in sales, I was making big money, playing golf 3 days a week. But now, with owning something, heck with managing, my life was never my own after I started to manage. I'm going back to sales. This is the key. If you're getting too pressed, you might consider stepping down to something with a little easier time pressure. The little girl says to her mother, Daddy comes home, brings his briefcase, and pats me on the head and says hello and disappears and works on these papers. How come my daddy doesn't play with me? And her mother said, look, your daddy loves you very much, but he's so busy at work, he can't get it all done. He has to bring it home. He loves you, but that's why he can't play with you. And the little girl said, why don't they just put him in a slower group? So, jot this down. Now, if you don't have time for your kids, you might consider joining a slower group. Remember when I said some things I went for cost me too much? So, reconsider. Next, the key to time management. Not to work harder, but smarter. When you've worked as hard as you can, doing the best you can in terms of physical output in the reasonable time. Now here's the ultimate in the management of time. You simply become more skillful. When I first got into sales, I was around people who could get 9 out of 10. When I first started, I could only get 1 out of 10. But here's what I did. I worked around the clock so that I would make up in numbers what I lacked in skill. That's good in sales. You've got to jot that down. When you're new, you make up in numbers what you lack in skill. Now, when you become more skillful, the numbers can go down because now your persuasive ability and all that are so high that you don't need to put as many numbers out. But at first, if you want to compete or if you want to really get good, you've got to put in the numbers. But if you get more from yourself, develop more of yourself, now the time management becomes an easier task. Here's the next thing. Either you run the project or it runs you. I found out when you start something, at first, you're in charge. All of a sudden, a year later, it's in charge. None of the companies I started, I'm telling you, I'm in control. A couple of years later, I'm out of control. At first, I've got it on the run. 2 years later, it's got me on the run. Haven't got enough time. I'm busy with trying to get it all done. So, here's part of the key to get in charge. I'm going to take charge of my health. One of my albums is entitled, Take Charge of Your Life. Take charge of your time. Take charge of your resources, which we're going to talk about next. Take charge of your health. You're the one that's responsible for it. It's not a requirement of society that you not have a heart attack and take care of your family. That's not a requirement of society, but you must make it a requirement of yourself. Society doesn't require that you build a financial wall around your family. Nothing can get through. That's not a requirement of society. It's a requirement you impose on yourself. To build a financial wall around your family, nothing can get through. So, impose on yourself the self-development of being in charge. Taking charge of your life and your health and your future and your responsibilities and all the rest. Next, reasonable time is enough time to achieve all of your goals. Just jot that down. Reasonable time is enough time. I had to learn that reasonable time is enough time. Here's why. It's not the hours you put in, it's what you put in the hours. If you start depositing greater ideas into the hours you've got, later, than now, I'm telling you, later, you can't believe the productivity that will flow. The ideas you can't think of now, a year from now, they'll start to flow. And when you deposit those ideas in the hours you got, productivity multiplies by 23,510. Next, time management essentials. We've already covered the first one. Written set of goals and then do priorities on your goals. What's important this week? What's important this month? Here's the next one, often reviewed. Just go over your goals to make sure that your list is working for you. That's inspiring. It's got you turned on. Somebody says, how come you're up so early? Say, if you were headed where I'm headed, you'd be up early too. Well, if you were going to meet who I'm going to meet, you'd be up early. If it was going to stack up for you like it's stacking up for me, you'd be getting up early. Here's some more time management essentials. Learn to study what we call majors and minors. You pick up the phone. Here's what you must say. When you pick up the phone, is this a major conversation or a minor conversation? If it's minor, a few pleasantries and you're done. If it's major, maybe you've got to make a few notes. So, here's the next one. Touring conversations. Make an agenda before you make the call. Jot down a little agenda. It's so easy now to just talk out of your head. Do you ever hear a conversation like this? Like this. Let's see, there was something else. See, you don't look that swift. I can't think of it right now. I'll call you back. See you. Look a little incompetent. Let's see. There was something. It escapes me right now. Really? So, we got this now. My agenda before you make a call. If it's an important call, later that saves you all kinds of stuff. You call John and the salesman says, John, remember those 4 things we went over? John says, no, we didn't talk about that. And then you pull out your daytime or whatever, and there's the list you made when you made the call. He said, oh yes, seems like I do remember, and you've gotten with your list. If it's just salespeople, especially, they can talk you out of what's in your head. It's true. No, we didn't talk about that. And if you don't have a little proof, I'm telling you, it's gone. So, make an agenda before you make a call. What's major? What's minor? Now, here's the key on this. Don't major minor things. If you take up major time to do minor things, I'm telling you, you'll be behind the curve constantly. Here's what we learn in sales training. What's major time? What's minor time? Here's minor time. Thinking about prospects, making lists of prospects, keeping books on prospects, going to see the prospect, evaluating the prospect after you've been there. That's all minor time. Here's major time. In the presence of the prospect. That's major time. And if you took a look at a week, you'd say, my gosh, I'm spending 9/10 of my time on the minor stuff and so little time on the major stuff in the presence of how many hours in the presence of in my day? How many hours in the presence of during my sales week? Because the time that really counts is in the presence of the prospect. Majors and minors. Here's another key time management essential. Don't mistake movement for achievement. It's easy to get faked out by being a busy guy. Comes home at night, all exhausted, falls in the chair and says, oh, I've been going. Here's the big question. Doing what? It's not the going. And some people are going, and they're doing figure eights. I mean, their progress is small. So, don't mistake movement for achievement. There's another one in sales we learned. Don't mistake courtesy for consent. If somebody's pleasant and they nod, you say, oh, they're going to buy. No, they're courteous. You can't mistake courtesy for consent. Now, here's a big one. Concentration. I had to learn this all those years ago. I'm in the shower trying to compose a letter. Phone turns out to be a strange letter. So, here's what I learned to do. Save the work till you get to the office. Save the work till you get to the work. Don't try to get to the office on the way to work. On the way to work, enjoy the way in, enjoy the shower. Then go to work. When you get to work, I found this to be helpful. Concentration. Here's another big one. Learn to say no. I'm telling you, in such a society we have now, it's so easy to try to be a nice person, saying yes to everything, and find yourself overloaded. And now you've got to call and make the, well, gosh, you know all the time it takes to back out of something that you said yes to too quickly. Here's what might be better. I don't think so, but if that changes, I'll call you. Little things you can use not to overcommit yourself. My friend Ron Reynolds says, don't let your mouth overload your bag. It's a good one. Now, here's a big one on time management. When you work. When you play. Don't mix the two. Don't work at play. I used to take my family to the beach and I would bring my briefcase. I learned not to do that. Or at the beach, I'm saying, I should be at the office. Now my family is upset because I'm at the beach and I'm thinking office. Now when I'm at the office, I'm thinking, what do I gotta get? My family to the beach. So things are not going too well at the office because I'm thinking beach. And things are not going too well at the beach because I'm thinking office. Here's what I learned to do. At the beach, be at the beach. At the office, be at the office. When you work. When you play. Don't mix the two. Don't work at play. Now, here's one of the most important ones. Don't play at work. Work is too serious. You don't want the reputation of being the office joker. It's not a good one. Yes, there's time for some pleasant stories. Yes, there's time for a little humor. Yes, it's best if it's a happy office, of course. But I'm telling you, you've got to be serious about work because you're parting with a piece of your life for the work you do. Your work costs you a piece of your life. Here's what it's called. Serious business. Not grim, not unhappy, but serious. Don't play at work. The old expression I don't think we use anymore. Force around at the office, play around, play jokes, play tricks. No place, not at the workplace. At the beach, yes. At the bar, yes. Somewhere else, not work. Treat work with all due conservative passion because it's leading you to your future. Here's another key phrase. All work is good. You may not like your job, but if it's a stepping stone to get you to where you want to go, you've got to appreciate your job. You don't have to have a passion for your job. Here's the ultimate passion. A passion for incredible success in every department of my life. That's the passion. But don't look down on some menial job you had to do to finally get you to where you want to go. No job is menial. Every job is noble. Training life for pay. Making a contribution to society. Next, analyze how you are, and if you have some weaknesses, if it doesn't seem like you can change, there's the key. Get it covered. I used to keep promising myself I'd keep the books. Finally, I gave that up. Back then, it only took me an extra 50, 60 bucks a month for some accountant to keep the books. I said, no, I'm going to save the 50 bucks. You can't believe what I started losing in productivity because I tried to save the 50 bucks. So, the key is a lot of time you can stay like you are, but just make sure you get it covered. Okay, next, beware of the telephone and all other systems of communication, especially the telephone at home and systems of communication at home. And here's one of the best lines I've got for you for the weekend. Let all communication systems serve you, but don't let them intrude. When it comes time to have dinner with your family, you shut off all systems unless the ones that can take messages silently. Don't let the phone ring. Don't let anybody intrude. Come through the front door, nor the back door, nor through the telephone or any other device. So, you can't reach John and his family when he's having dinner. The President of the United States couldn't get through. If you develop that kind of reputation, father, mother, when we have dinner, when we're visiting and have this time with our family, nothing intrudes. So, don't let these clever little devices keep intruding. You've got to have a place that's sacred. It's valuable. You don't let anything in for that period of time. Okay, isn't that good advice? Excellent advice. Here's the next one. Read all the books. You know, I've only got a few notes here on time management, but if you've got some particular challenges, you run a big organization, a big corporation, you've got some challenges, there's plenty of books. Now, here's what's next. Just be more alert to the things that might be stealing your time. Here's why. Time is like capital. You can't let someone steal your seed corn. You can't let someone steal your capital. And you can't let someone steal your time. You must designate your time, and some of the time that you designate, you must not let anyone steal. Casual time. You might let someone intrude and steal a little bit and take a little bit, but not serious time. Next, one of the great time management savers is to learn to ask questions up front. Sometimes you talk to somebody for an hour, and then you ask questions and find out if you would have asked those questions up front, you could have saved yourself an hour. Asking questions up front helps you to get to the problem now. But if you just launch into some discourse, you might waste 30 minutes, waste an hour, when here's what you should have been talking about. After you've finished an hour, you say, John, what's really the problem? He said, well, it's something personal. See, that's what you should have been talking about this whole hour. Okay, next, learn to think on paper. Then we're going to take a break. Some ways to think on paper are solving problems. Take it out of your head and put it on paper. Another one is setting goals, making these lists we've already started. Here's another good way to think on paper. It's a project's book. Each person you're working with and each project you're working on, get a loose leaf binder and a tab and some pieces of paper behind the tab. And do a little continual summary of how it's going between you and that person and between you and that project. I call it a project book. It is so useful to me. But what's going on between you and this person when you last got together? What did you talk about? And you've got a few notes here. Here's what we talked about the last time we got together. You know, when you get together again, you can review that so you'll know better what to talk about when the president gets ready to travel and he's going to meet some important people. Guess what they'd bring him? All these briefing books, right? The last time you were with so-and-so, Kennedy is informed. Here's what he said, and here's what you said. Kennedy said, oh, that's valuable. I need to remember that. If a person is important, it's worth a little running account. You might even have a project book for your children. Here's what's happening between me and my child. We've talked about this, and we've talked about this, and we've talked about this. Next, daytimer, or keeping track of all of your appointments. You know, mine is all filled with when to catch an airplane, when to do a seminar, when to sit down and have a conference, all the rest. Next is a game plan. You know, if you've got a house and insurance is going to come due, and some other things are going to come due, you just put it on a spreadsheet and make sure it's taken care of. Key phrase. Take things out of your head and put them on paper. And the key is to just experiment with different ways. It helps you to do that. Now, here's the last one. Thinking on paper. And that's to keep a journal. One of the things I'm known for around the world have been now for 3,940 years is keeping a journal. Now, my journal is not necessarily a diary. It might be part diary. You know, I'm flying over Ireland and I write down a few little things that impress me. Today, I met this person. Wow, what an extraordinary event. Today, I conducted this seminar in Rome. 1,000 people stood up and sang for me. I've got a little bit of a diary in there. But here's what primarily your journal is for: collecting good ideas. The journal is to collect good ideas on your health, good ideas for your business, good ideas for your future, good ideas for time management. Because I used to take notes on pieces of paper and torn off corners and backs of old envelopes and restaurant placemats, and I threw all this stuff in the drawer. It did not serve me well. I finally learned to get a bound copy, right? And just keep a journal, right? If I was here, I had my journal, I'd be taking notes right these 2 days in my journal. Now, if you're caught without your journal, you just take the notes. When you get back home, you put those notes in your journal, throw the paper away, because we don't usually go through paper to review. But see, my journals now make up a significant part of my own library. My journals, all reserved privately for my children and my grandchildren. Can you imagine what I've collected over the years? It's unbelievable. There are 3 treasures to leave behind. I think you've already got those notes right here. They are: 1. Your pictures. Don't leave the event unrecorded. Takes only a fraction of a second to say, here's who I was with when I traveled the world. Right? Did we take all these pictures? And here's one of the gifts people send me. The pictures they took of me in them. It's part of the treasures I have on the farm. Incredible. A picture is worth 1,000 words to describe the scene, the emotion, what happened. To say, wow, this was an extraordinary day for me when I met these people. Here's what happened to them when they went to my seminar 10 years ago. Wow, the drama comes back if you've taken the pictures. It's one of the treasures to leave behind when you go. Remember the old photographs that we have now, 100 years ago, 7,080 years ago? Just a few photographs. What would it be like if you had thousands of photographs of the past, of your history, your mother, your father, grandparents? So change all of that now for your children. Leave all your photographs as a record. Here's what's next: to leave behind, and that's your library. The books that changed your life, the books that changed your health, the books that rescued you from oblivion, the books that you passed on to other people. They were so exciting for you. The books that made you financially independent, the books that developed your leadership, the books that gave you wisdom to ponder when things were tough, the books that got you through the winter, the books that helped you to plan in the spring and harvest in the fall. What a treasure to leave behind. But if you do that, here's what's for sure: your books will be more valuable than your furniture. Now, the 3rd treasure to leave behind is your journals. The notes you took that helped you to live life as you lived it long after you're gone. But treasure the children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren will find so fascinating. They may use it to help guide their own life into their own future. Okay, we've run out of time for time management.